Look at the state of the rural real estate market with Peter Newbold, GM for PGG Wrightson Real Estate. Peter, it would be remiss of me not to start by asking you about the sheep and beef properties now going to forestry/carbon farming. Are the floodgates opening?
Yeah, look, Jamie, in some areas you'd have to say it's pretty hectic. And there is a lot of activity in that space. And a lot of it is in some of those traditional areas, but definitely we're seeing a lot of activity. It hasn't slowed. And in some cases, I'd suggest there's more interest. And, good for those people selling, but, there are some challenges ahead if we carry on at this rate.
And I don't blame the vendors, or the real estate agents for that matter either, Peter. If it was me selling my farm, I've got one shot at glory. I've only got one chance to sell it. Most of us would sell to the highest bidder. If you don't, someone else will just buy it off you and then a couple of years down the track sell it to the highest bidder. So it's a bit of a shame with what's happening out there, but I guess life goes on. More interestingly, isn't there a general increase in enthusiasm in investing in rural assets?
Yeah, look, I think there is, and I haven't seen it like this for a number of years. And if you look at all areas, we've talked about sheep and beef, but if you talk about dairy, grazing, cropping, all the various areas, if property comes to the market, there's a good level of interest. And it's not only from, those within the industry, but there's a lot of people outside the rural industry who are seeing this as a great place to invest and put their money in, and I think that's really good for rural New Zealand. So if I sit back and look where we are at the moment, then I'm looking at a very strong October, November in respect to all things rural.
Interesting recent sale in Canterbury, mid-Canterbury I think it was, where a grazing block sold for more per hectare than a dairy platform simply because it had the wintering consents. Interesting market.
Yeah, and I think that's the other thing, that people are looking to, create a situation on their property where they can manage all aspects of it. So you're seeing a lot of people doing that, and I guess when you look at the returns they're getting, they're in a position to be able to add to their existing property portfolio.
Is there a renewed interest in dairy farming?
Yeah, it was interesting. I was just talking to one of our key agents earlier this morning. Definitely we're seeing some more dairies come onto the market, and we're seeing those in all price points and a number of quality properties coming to the market. And I think a lot of that comes back to we're in a period now where, people retire, succession, change in life, all those things. But we've got a number of dairies coming to the market which we didn't have last year. So I'd put it in the category of other areas like sheep and beef. So it's looking strong.
Peter, I'm hearing anecdotal evidence or suggestion that a lot of farmers who may not have the next generation coming through don't want to face the environmental reforms and the regulatory tidal wave that's coming their way, and they're saying now's as good a time as ever to get out.
Yeah, look, you're 100% correct. And I think the other thing too is, I was out in the field in the last couple of days. The other area is, people there to work in rural New Zealand. And that's another big challenge for not only, farming, but general those in the provinces. So that's the other big piece. And I think you've got those people that are maybe, 55 to 65, can't pass it down. All the pricing is good, so why wouldn't I move? So definitely that's in play at the moment.
Rightio, if you're thinking of selling your farm or your rural property, you know who to talk to, the team at PGG Wrightson Real Estate. Peter Newbold, we'll catch you again next month.
Yeah, thanks, Jamie, and have a good day.